Mining engineer fears recent explosions experienced in the mining sector could erode capital and investments. Hello there, good evening and welcome to Business Brief here on TV3. My name is Michael Obudu. Before we bring you our top stories, let's check out some other stories that have been making the rounds in the world of business today.
Today in business, household spending is expected to reach 107.8 billion cedis in 2023, higher than the 101.9 billion recorded in 2019. That's according to Fitch Solutions' latest reports, dubbed Ghana Consumer Outlook. Fears of increases in cost of borrowing are rising amidst increasing Treasury bill rates, which is nearing 32%. At the latest auction by the Bank of Ghana, government's Treasury bills were oversubscribed, and yet interest rates still inched up, stirring up worry among market watchers. German car giant BMW has announced plans to invest hundreds of millions of pounds to prepare its mini factory near Oxford to build a new generation of electric cars. Production of 2 new electric mini models is due to begin at the plant in Cowley in 2026. Currently, there are more than 4,000 people working across the Oxford and Swindon factories.
Well, let's now bring you our top story as mining engineer Theophilus Jimagan is of the view explosions in the mining sector could whittle away capital and investments in the sector. He further notes such mining disasters could have negative impact on employment.
The mining engineer Theophilus Jimagan's comments come on the back of the explosion at a quarry site in Anto Abosso in the western region.
Any little thing that happens to a mining company, most of them are listed on the stock exchange in various countries. Investors are so careful that if something like that happens, it can wipe out a lot on your stock. So I feel that with this happening, mining companies will begin to ask questions of their service provider because they don't want collateral effect on them. Again, it means therefore that the mining companies themselves too will have to raise their safety precautions and safety measures a notch up. And it means that the amount of money they will use for safety measures would have been used for capital investment, but that is exhausted.
Theophilus Jimagan also observed the country has not learned from the Apiache explosion.
Is it that we focus too much on transportation in Apiache, that we have not looked at storage of explosives? However, have we learned lessons? What are the lessons? What are the key findings from Apiache? The key findings, have they been made available for the industry? Have they been made available for the nation, for everybody to know? Again, you see a lot of explosive trucks on our way, on our roads. So I wonder if we have really learned lessons from Apiache. However, I feel that with this second one, the minister saying that the company has not been fully licensed. The company is either licensed or not licensed. We cannot have the midway, because my lecturer once said, when you are dealing with explosives, you have to be so careful that if you don't take that, you cannot live to tell the story.
Now, Ghana's oil fields have experienced steady decline in output for the past 3 years. CEO of Eureka Energy Solutions, Dr. Yusuf Sulemana, has called for a review of the country's business strategy in order to attract the needed investment into the sector. Though it is not a new oil field, the coming on stream of the Jubilee South East well is expected to ramp up production numbers and bolster Ghana's oil revenue.
The estimation is that we can add about 30,000 barrels per stream day of oil. And that is huge. In fact, that would have meant that Jubilee will come back to its crown jewel status. And I think with this 30,000 addition, if it proves to be extractable in the amount that we estimated, then I think we would have gotten Jubilee back to 100,000 barrels of oil per stream day. And that would have been commendable, especially looking at the era where the upstream business is something churning out a lot of profit for producers. We are talking about oil prices not selling below 85. Oil had flirted around 90. And there's always a chance that we might have oil in the 80s to 90s for quite some time to come, even probably to the end of the year. So there couldn't be any other better time of adding more oil to your production portfolio than now.
Now, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has issued a stern warning to clearing agents, shipping lines and importers in the country to desist from falsifying information on trade documents, or they will face the full rigors of the law. This comes on the back of intelligence work by the division that revealed that 2 agents and importers were heavily engaged in such activities at the Tema port. This report has the rest of the story. In a statement, the authority revealed that the goods were intercepted and physically examined. The physical examination results indicated that the descriptions of the goods on the bill of entry were different from the physical goods found in the container. The audit revealed that some of the imports declared by the identified companies were misdescribed, misclassified, and undervalued for the purpose of paying lower customs duties and taxes.
The actual descriptions of the consignment were footwears. What we found were footwears, bags, that's belts, underwear, galvanized pipes, etc. But they were all entered as knapsack sprayers. Subsequent to that revelation, Management, Tax, Internal Audit, and the Post-Clearance Audit Unit to do further investigations into our system, especially on those 2 importers and their agents. And subsequent to that, we had 23 bill of entries which had earlier been entered within the same period and which had also been misdescribed as the same knapsack sprayers.
The authority added that it would scrutinize documents from the corporates from previous years for more anomalies.
We are equally expanding the investigation to cover, 6 years earlier, because we have realized that, and other companies, because it may not be the only companies who are doing that. And there's a possibility of prosecuting all those involved. And we want to give a warning to everybody that you cannot hide. Whatever happens, it will come out. And those who are into that practice, some of them can come out even, it's always, they can come out and own up, and we'll see what we'll do.
Well, from the ports, let's now bring you updates on the currency market today. Well, that will be all for Business Brief here on TV3. Our website, 3news.com, has more business stories for you. Catch us at 6 p.m. as we bring you Business Focus later today. My name is Michael Lobodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe.